Our movie starts with Alex, his father, and his mother. At that time, they had just emigrated from their home country, Ukraine, and had recently arrived in Canada to start a new life. Alex says that back in their country, they faced many problems, most of them related to money and the lack of job opportunities. However, it quickly became clear that things in the new country weren't much better, and their migration seemed to be for nothing. Alex's father struggled to find work and spent his time hanging out with the new neighbors instead. Meanwhile, bills were piling up, and they desperately needed money. His mother managed to find a job with great difficulty, working as an assistant accountant at a bank. The bank provided her with a computer to work from home when things got busy. Alex often sat beside her, watching her work, partly to pass the time because unfortunately, he had no friends. Over time, he learned how to use the computer himself and started spending hours browsing the internet. Given how bad his family's situation was, Alex felt deep sympathy for his mother. He knew that if things continued like this, he wouldn't even have enough money to attend college, especially since most universities were private and expensive. One day, Alex decided to take advantage of the computer they had. He started searching online and eventually found a way to make money, though it was extremely exhausting. For every 1,000 clicks, he would barely earn $20. The amount was small compared to the huge effort it took. His fingers would go numb from all the constant clicking. Whenever he managed to earn some money, he would secretly hide it with his siblings, saving for college. Years passed, and Alex kept going. His skills improved, and he dug deeper into the world of finance, stock markets, and securities. He realized that internet security systems were weak and full of loopholes. One day, after a big argument between his parents, Alex decided to go outside to get some fresh air. He sat in a cafe, and while watching TV, he came across a news segment talking about a terrorist network on the internet called the Dark Web, which was supposedly controlled by a dangerous man named Zed. At that very moment, the TV got hacked, and a recorded message from Zed played. It was clear that Zed wasn't a terrorist, but someone with a vendetta against governments and global banks for exploiting the poor and vulnerable. Later that day, when Alex returned home, he found his mother crying. He learned that the bank where she worked was cutting down on employees, and they had fired her. The worst part was that their house had an outstanding mortgage, and the same bank that fired her was now threatening to repossess their home. At that moment, Alex made a huge decision. He brought out a box containing all the money he had saved from working online over the years and gave it to his mother. She was shocked and asked him where he got all that money, but he reassured her that he had earned it from advertising sites on the internet. Though she was reluctant to take it, since it was meant for his college tuition, after much insistence, she finally accepted, realizing that keeping their home was more important. Alex was deeply frustrated with the bank that fired his mother, tried to take their home, and caused him to lose the money he had been saving for years. There wasn't enough time to save up again since college applications were only a few months away. He started thinking about a different way to make more money, and fast. He came up with the idea of committing an online scam, but it had to be smart. Smart enough that he wouldn't get caught. At that moment, Alex remembered Zed and the dark web he had heard about on the news. He starts searching the internet, and eventually, he gets into the dark web. But he soon realizes it's not easy, and to join the members, he has to pass a test and prove himself first. The test? He has to commit at least one crime online. After that, one of the members will send him an invitation. He begins to think about who his first victim should be, and the first person who comes to mind is Randy, an annoying kid at school who always bullies Alex. At first, Alex creates a fake website, offering non-existent products with discounts of up to 60%. He then sends the website link to Randy, who sees the products, discounts, and prices, and his mind goes wild. He immediately falls for it and asks his dad for the credit card to buy. That turns out to be a huge mistake, because Alex steals the card information and passes it to his dark web contacts. This way, he successfully passes the test, and they send him a message confirming his membership. The first member to contact Alex is someone named Roosevelt. Roosevelt starts helping Alex, showing him easier ways to make more money. Despite the variety of goods, the job mainly revolves around the black market and stolen items. Roosevelt sends Alex various goods by mail, and Alex's job is to sell them. This work is easy and fun for Alex, and everything is going smoothly. After just 4 weeks, Alex has already earned around $30,000, the same amount he had spent years trying to make through clicks online. One day, Alex decides to leave home and move to a big city, believing there would be more opportunities and higher profits, and also because he can apply to college. One day, he manages to scam his way into buying luxury watches online using a fake credit card. These watches are extremely valuable, but Alex has no idea who to sell them to, especially since the city is full of cops and scammers. He comes up with a plan and heads to Chinatown to try and sell the watches. But despite walking around for a long time, he can't find anyone willing to buy, and those who are interested suspect him and refuse to buy. Eventually, a person spots Alex and starts following him from a distance. Finally, he starts a conversation with Alex as he leaves one of the shops. In the conversation, the guy offers to buy all the watches for $5,000. But when he realizes that Alex is smart and knows the watches are worth over $400,000, Sai offers to help him sell them in exchange for a 30% commission. We find out his name is Sai. He takes the watches from Alex, walks into the same shop that refused to buy from Alex, and after a short while, he comes out having successfully made the deal, selling them all easily. Alex is amazed by Sai's negotiation skills, my friend, and wants to learn how he did it. Sai agrees to teach him, but only if Alex tells him how he got those watches in the first place. Days pass, and we realize they're not really friends, but rather partners in crime. One brings in the goods, and the other sells them. When the time comes for Alex to apply to college, he pays the first installment and buys the required books. But suddenly, he realizes this isn't the life he wants. He decides not to go to college and instead focuses on making money. He gives the books to a poor kid instead of buying new ones and starts working even harder with luxury watches, jewelry, and credit card fraud. Life? Well, it was great, my friend. One day, they're at a nightclub, and one of Sai's friends hands Alex a customer's credit card. The customer had come out the night before but was being rude and refuses to pay them. The friend believes he deserves to be stolen from. To Alex's surprise, the credit card has a huge amount of money on it. We see Alex manage to scam a large amount from it. One day, while browsing online, he discovers that the bank his mother worked at has weak and outdated security. He decides to shut down that bank because it fired his mother and wanted to seize their house. Sai agrees to help him, even though this operation has no money involved and it's only for revenge. Alex successfully infiltrates the bank, posing as a technician, and manages to insert a USB drive into the employee's computer. The USB has a virus designed by him, but he doesn't get the chance to escape. Security catches him, and they take him into a private room. Sai, being the troublemaker he is, starts a commotion and goes in after him. Let's live the life, Lux, or we'll all go to jail. The manager is about to call the police, but Alex offers him a deal. He'll update the bank's security system for free in exchange for letting them leave without any hassle. He tells the manager, "It's in everyone's best interest that you let us go, because if this gets out, the bank's reputation will be ruined, and clients will withdraw their money, and the bank will go bankrupt." The manager is convinced and agrees, and after an hour, Alex successfully updates their security system and walks out, my friend. Sai is going crazy, wondering how Alex managed to get out of that situation. Although the whole bank incident was kept secret, it gets discovered on the dark web, and Alex becomes famous in the dark internet world for designing a virus that destroyed the bank's security software in seconds. Even Zaid himself sends Alex a message acknowledging his achievement, my friend. One day, Alex returns home and finds his friend Sai logged into a dark web account, setting up a meeting with a girl. He says, "You've become famous, man. I found this girl, sent her a message, and talked to her as if it's you. I've set up a date with her for you. You're gonna meet her and enjoy yourself." The girl's name is Kira, and she's highly skilled in hacking. Her meeting with Alex is also for business purposes. That evening, Alex meets Kira at a cafe. They talk and decide to team up, sharing their hacking skills to create a team. As time passes, we discover more of Kira's talents, like teaching them how to make fake credit cards, how to use Tor browser, which accesses the dark web, and how to scam people using digital currencies like Bitcoin, Dogecoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin. This opens new doors for them, even in the luxury watches and jewelry business. Kira is excellent at selling them, even better than Sai, which confuses Sai. He asks her how she does all of this and who's helping her. She responds that her uncle helps her find clients to sell the stolen goods to. However, over time, Sai's suspicions about Kira start to grow. She's good at everything, and nothing seems difficult for her. She has a large number of clients to whom she sells stolen goods, and at the same time, she's skilled in hacking and online transactions. Sai is confused as to why she would team up with them when she knows how to handle everything herself. When he shares his doubts with Alex, Alex reassures him, saying, "This girl is amazing. You're just being overly suspicious." One day, Kira suggests that they travel to Hong Kong, saying that there are more opportunities and a bigger market there. She suggests they go alone without Sai, but Alex tells her that Sai is his only true friend, not just a business partner, and he can't abandon him. Sai, who was supposed to be asleep, overhears everything. He becomes even more suspicious of Kira, and the time comes for their biggest job yet. They have a big truck filled with goods, and Kira is the one bringing in the clients to buy it all in one go. At this point, Sai has had enough of Kira and how she always knows everyone, and he starts to feel like they're being played. He decides to step into the deal and tells them, "We need to build trust between us." He decides he won't sell all the goods, but he'll take a small portion and sell the rest himself. Kira refuses this and demands that they sell everything, and things get chaotic between Sai, Kira, and the buyers. The buyers start to feel like they're being tricked, and a big commotion breaks out. The men pull out guns and start shooting in the air, almost killing them. But eventually, they decide not to deal with them anymore and warn them not to sell anything to anyone in the city again, or next time, they won't even walk out on their feet. After a while, we see them sitting quietly, and Kira thinks Sai's stupidity will ruin everything. But Sai believes he was right because Kira is chasing after them like a fool. The story ends with Alex making peace with them, realizing that their quarrel isn't good for business. That night, they notice a short guy standing in front of their car, inspecting it before walking away. Because of this, Alex realizes that they've become too exposed in that place, and he suggests they move to a new location. They look at each other, and Sai suggests, "What do you think about Hong Kong?" They agree, and they travel to Hong Kong, deciding to enjoy themselves a bit by staying in the finest hotels, finding a new location for their office, and doing some luxury shopping, watches, jewelry, and other high-end items. Although the money was flowing like rain, Alex starts feeling bored, as every day feels the same regardless of the money. He wants to put an end to the banks that exploit the poor and those with low incomes. However, Sai, with all the money, starts getting reckless, causing more trouble. One of the troubles even leads to them getting arrested, and Alex is surprised that Kira managed to get them out so easily. She tells them, "It's my uncle who's handling all this, guys." Sai, however, feels that Kira is taking advantage of everything, and he decides to prove that he still has the talent and can buy and sell. One day, he goes out and returns with a large sum of money from the things he sold. But the problem arises when the idiot uses Alex's credit card, which he was originally banned from using. This is the same card that the girl in the bar gave them. For the first time, Alex snaps at Sai and tells him he's lost all trust in him, and he threatens to send him packing. Kira, however, stays quiet as if she's enjoying all of this. In the end, Sai takes a stand, packs his things, and leaves. The following days, Alex starts thinking about how to get Zaid's attention so he can meet him, since he sees him as a role model and would like to meet him in person. Kira tells him that to meet Zaid, they need to do something big that will grab the attention of the global financial system. The idea comes to them, attacking all the ATMs in Hong Kong at the same time. They go ahead with it and manage to steal more than $2 million in a single day, leaving a fake credit card at each machine they hit. But the problem isn't the amount of money. The real issue is that people will lose trust in the banks. That day, Kira reflects on her life and says she doesn't know how much longer she'll keep collecting money. She decides to quit working and start enjoying her life. She tells Alex that the money they have could make them rich if they invested it wisely. But Alex thinks it's a stupid idea. While he's arguing with Kira, each of them trying to convince the other of their point, they're surprised when a message arrives from Zaid, the owner of the dark web, and Zaid tells Alex that he's been promoted to honorary president of the dark web. But Alex doesn't stop there. He insists on meeting the owner of the dark web, and the commander tells him it's impossible. However, when Alex tells him it's in their best interest and it will make the banks lose billions, the commander agrees, saying someone will contact him soon. Later, Alex receives a call with the time and place for the meeting. They head to the location, which turns out to be an abandoned warehouse, isolated and guarded with armed men. It's a terrifying place. There, Alex meets the leader of the dark web, and Alex comes with a plan he wants to present to him, hoping he'll help him execute it. The leader agrees to collaborate, but warns him that working with him means no mistakes. A mistake will result in death, not just for him, but also for his family, friends, and everyone he knows. However, if the operations succeed, Alex will get more than he's ever dreamed of. After the meeting, Alex receives a message from Sai, who apologizes for the trouble he caused. He says, "I realize my mistake, my friend, and I've returned to our hotel room. I'm waiting for you here, hoping for another chance." But when Alex arrives, he sees 3 armed men entering the room, planning to harm his friend. When Alex and Kira enter the room, they're confronted with a horrific scene. Sai is lying dead in the bathtub, drowned in his own blood. Out of respect for your feelings, my friend, I won't describe the scene in detail. Immediately, Alex realizes that the person responsible for this is the guy who took the card from the girl in the bar. Had Sai not come back, they might have been the ones killed. It's almost surreal. His friend's death is brutal, but Alex doesn't mourn for long. He decides to move forward with his plans. The next scene shows them arriving in a new city where the leader has prepared a team to execute a plan. The plan is to carry out an operation to kill the head of the Federal Reserve Bank. His death causes panic around the world, and the market literally collapses. The only beneficiary of this chaos is the leader, whose account goes from 35 million to 3 billion within hours. That's incredible. However, we soon realize that the leader isn't interested in the money. He has his own principles and cause. He instructs his men to distribute all the money to Alex and his group. But Alex and Kira can't escape in time. The police catch them, and Alex wakes up to find himself locked in a place, with the police sitting right next to him. But they don't respond to him, and he doesn't understand what's happening. In the end, they give him a sedative injection, and he loses consciousness again. When he wakes up, he finds himself in their apartment, which they had turned into an office. But now the office is in total chaos, with broken gadgets and furniture. Alex starts to feel confused because he has no idea what's going on, why they arrested him, and then let him go so easily without a word. He also feels something strange in his stomach, but the thing that bothers him the most is not knowing what happened to Kira. He remembers that she told him if anything went wrong, he should meet her in a specific place in Thailand. Without hesitation, Alex goes there, but he only has a small amount of money. So he rents a room in a cheap hotel and goes to the place every day where she was supposed to meet him, waiting for hours, but she never shows up. One day, he decides to check his email, hoping that she might have sent him a message. Since he was running out of money, he gives the hotel clerk a stolen credit card. When he opens his email, he is shocked to find that the founders of the dark web, including their leader, the boss, have been arrested. The news says that Kira was his partner and was killed while trying to escape. The hotel clerk, who had received the stolen card, calls the police, but Alex doesn't realize she reported him. He is focused on the news, unable to believe that Kira is dead because he loved her. He tries to open the email, hoping it contains a message from her, but before he can, the police burst into his room. Because of the stolen card, he is arrested and thrown into a Thai prison. He is sentenced to 2 years in a small, miserable prison, surrounded by people who don't speak his language, and unable to communicate with anyone. The isolation is enough to make Alex reevaluate his life, and he starts to appreciate his parents, whom he hadn't contacted in a long time. All he wants now is to return to his family's embrace. Finally, after completing his sentence, Alex is released from prison. Outside, he is surprised to see someone waiting for him. He can't believe it. He thought she was dead. Kira explains that she had been imprisoned for hacking crimes, but an American intelligence officer approached her and offered her a deal. She could get out of prison if she helped them by getting close to Alex, making him fall in love with her, and then using him to expose the dark dark web network. Kira had been working with the intelligence service all along, though she had developed real feelings for Alex over time. The deal was to help the authorities take down the dark web and its leader, the boss, who was actually behind all the chaos. The intelligence services were sure that Alex, by continuing his pattern of actions, would lead them straight to the dark web's leader. In the end, they succeeded, and the boss was arrested. Kira, realizing her true feelings for Alex, had to make a choice. The intelligence services agreed not to harm him in exchange for her cooperation. They also promised not to imprison him or interfere with his future. Kira bought Alex's freedom, but this meant she could never see him again. After a while, Kira returns to find Alex in prison. Using her connections, she gets him out, and she brings with her a new passport for him so that they can start a new life, away from all the lies, actions, and danger. They decide to live in peace and enjoy their love without more risks or fake identities. And in a surprising twist, they learn that before the dark web boss was arrested, he had transferred $500 million into Alex's real account as payment for the operations he had carried out with them. The question remains, how will Alex and Kira react to this unexpected fortune? And that's the end of the story. If you liked it, let me know your thoughts in the comments and feel free to share.